You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Sean Payton made some very interesting comments over the weekend, and it was pretty clear he was taking a shot at Russell Wilson. I don't want to hear anything about indirectly or directly or whatever, subtle, none of that. It was a huge shot at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's got one massive hole in his game. Pocket awareness is not good, all right? Some people call it pocket sense, but he took a lot of sacks. In fact, I think he took the most sacks in the NFL. Now, the problem for the Steelers is, so does Justin Fields. I think they're back-to-back, most sacks taken, but look, you got a guy that's younger, guy that's still learning, against a guy that has been in the league forever, and Russell's going to be set in his ways at this point, right? By the way, Russell did come back. Russell's problem is Justin Fields has looked great. I mean, really, really good. And the fan base, they've noticed it. So let's get to Sean Payton, because Sean Payton was talking about his QBs. Now, in case you're wondering, in Broncos land, Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham both have looked good. All right? They got I'm not going to say they got a quarterback controversy, but I could see a scenario either guy could end up getting this job and then losing the job to the... Bo Nix is ultimately going to get the job. Jarrett Stidham could get it and then lose it very quickly to Bo Nix. They're eventually headed to Bo Nix no matter what. But I'm going to tell you this, and I said it last year, Jarrett Stidham probably should be the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders right now. But they didn't offer him enough money, and they couldn't keep him around. Anyway, that's on the Raiders for putting themselves in that position. So, this article from predominantlyorange.com talks about all the reasons why the Broncos was willing to take an $85 million dead cap hit. And one of those reasons was unnecessary sacks. All right, and those sacks were taken by one Russell Wilson. It was driving Sean Payton nuts, and it was killing offensive drives. All right? And he wasn't making the systematic throws that you've got to make in Sean Payton's offense. All right? He's going to get more freedom in Arthur Smith's offense. Sean Payton, he's an offensive guru. He wants you to run his offense the way he designed it. Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, better fit. Right? Especially Jarrett Stidham. I mean, he's used to that from Josh McDaniels. It's fitting then that he ended up with Bo Nix, who was barely sacked over the last 2 years at Oregon. Payton was gushing over that quality after Saturday's training camp practice. Quote, I think it's a trait. When we watched the tape, you could see a pretty good pocket sense, a.k.a. pocket awareness. He doesn't take a lot of sacks. I think he knows when the play is over and it's time to go. Then I think he can make plays when he's going. I used to say this all the time. The sack numbers are more of a reflection on the quarterback than the offensive line. Woo! He just blamed the quarterback for sacks, not the O-line. Former Saints quarterback Drew Brees was one of those guys. He was a tough sack. The ball came out quickly, and I think Bo Nix has traits like that. After Payton said this, a lot of eyebrows in Broncos country were raised because whether Payton meant it or not, of course he meant it. We know he's got no love for Russell Wilson. What he said was indirectly a huge shot at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was sacked a whopping 100 times. God. In 30 games with the Denver Broncos. Everyone knew that Russ took plenty of sacks in his time with the Seahawks, but obviously it was a huge issue for Sean Payton. To his credit, Payton isn't just blowing smoke. The Broncos ranked 8th in the entire NFL in pass blocking win rate. So in other words, when you start digging deep into the analytics, the offensive line was pretty good. All right, Pro Football Focus, which is a site we use a lot on this channel, credited the Broncos offensive line only allowing 16 sacks. Wilson was sacked a whopping 45 times. Yikes. Guys, I got to tell you, I think that's going to drive Mike Tomlin nuts too. I really do. By the way, you see that headline. Justin Fields is killing it, folks. He's lighting up Steelers camp right now. And Russell Wilson, I think, came back yesterday. But they had another, he continues to stack good performance on good performance on good performance. And Mike Tomlin's going to have a decision he's got to make. All right, so this was comments made right here about Justin Fields by Steelers now, Derek Bell. Quote, not only was he accurate on essentially every pass that he threw tonight, he was much more decisive in the pocket. Steelers now Derek Bell explained in his practice takeaways, highlighting 2 passes as standout plays from Fields. A deep intermediate route to George Pickens along the left side with Porter in coverage, and a laser beam over the middle to Calvin Austin on a search route over the middle. Seriously, he's showing up, folks. You know what? Let's just watch this. Woo! Yeah, that was nice. It was. After a thrilling practice under the lights, Fields is set to finish his week of camp, included a day where he did not miss a pass. Wow, and several days with more impressive plays than bad ones. And, look, it's starting to gain more national attention now. All right, this was posted this morning on Pro Football Talk, talking about Justin Fields. Wilson appears to be on the road for a full recovery to action in the near future, but Justin Fields' time as the number 1 quarterback has provided a chance for the Steelers to see how Fields is picking up offensive coordinator Arthur Smith's scheme. Smith said that Fields is, quote, really operating the offense and expanded on the threat he can provide to opposing defenses. Quote, a dangerous football player with the ball in his hands, Arthur Smith told Jerry Dulick of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. It allows you to get creative. Maybe you change up a little bit on the defensive game plan for him. It certainly adds a different element. Yikes. If you're Russell Wilson, you better have your head on a swivel right now, because it's no skin off their back. He's $1.2 million. Guess what, guys? That's low-end backup money in the NFL. Low-end backup money. So the question is now, are you going to have any drama from Russell Wilson if he loses his job? Is he going to... Because there were rumors right after he signed that if he performed well, they might give him a big, 2-year contract. If he never gets the job and he's regulated to backup, does Russell's ego show up? We've seen that ego a bunch over the last 3 or 4 years. Mr. Unlimited? Anybody? Seriously. Oh, man. It's going to be one of the most interesting storylines. Because if you're the Steelers, $1.2 million for Russell Wilson as a backup? Yeah, you do that every day. It's going to be, I continue to say, this might be the most interesting storyline of the season, is what happens between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Keep in mind, there are still people in Chicago that believe Justin Fields should be the quarterback there. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.